Thunder, like you've seen it a million times.
Good morning, welcome back to American Truck Simulator. I'm David Steele and I'm about to make a complete mess of backing up to this enormous trailer. Well, I say enormous, it's a triple trailer. Let's go ahead and get it in gear. I don't think I really want to do it from this angle now. Nice idea, this is not going to work in practice. Alright, so I'm going to get it around the corner. Yeah, I'm making a right mess of this, aren't I? Well, it's okay. So, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing very well. We are here today in a Mack Super-Liner, and our trip, our mission, which we have most definitely chosen to accept, is a bit of a heavy haul. But it's not a bit of a heavy haul, it is a heavy haul. Let's go ahead and try and line that up. There we go. Alright. Parking brake on, get my ride height back to where it should be. Let's go ahead and connect the trailer. Okay, let's jump in the cabin. That's a little bit hushed. Right, what have we got today? We have 81,000 pounds worth of coil, or metal coil. Let's see if we can show these off. Yeah, long load, no kidding, and heavy load as well, because this is a pretty chonky load. And even better, we're going over Cabbage Hill. Let's bring up the map. Now, I may not keep everyone with me for the entire trip today because it's a 300 miles. Doesn't sound so bad, but the route to Pendleton, the Cabbage Hill, has another name. Is it something like Devil Death Highway or something along those lines? This is going to be a challenge. And even though I have a Mack V8, because I let the dispatcher know I've got a Mack V8, but it's an old one, yeah, it's still going to be a challenge. I'm going to go ahead and just move on out of here. I've actually got the transmission in sequential manual today, just for a change. I'm likely to put it into automated because, well, it's final testing of this engine, but this is a difficult load, and I want to drive it sequential manual for a while. Okay, so we're using a 12-speed transmission today with a 385 final drive. It's a Mack transmission. It's a manual, but it's got an air shifter. So you're going to hear it hiss. You might hear it hiss. Let's go ahead and bring it to almost to a stop. Oh, I guess I am going to bring it to a stop because of the traffic here. Okay, well, there we go. Now, this transmission is interesting because, as with some Macks, you've actually got a button on the dashboard to access the special range. Let's see if I can show you that here. Yeah, so your extended range, your direct to low, use only with main on first gear. It's to the left of those two switches above the tractor brake. This is a bit of a Mack feature. Some of the transmissions had the extra low gear. Great for heavy haul, or for heavier cargoes, or even vocational work, and very much something that you don't seem to find on the Eaton Fullers. I haven't seen them on the Eaton Fullers. With this kind of cargo, it's very useful. And yes, I do absolutely have a Mack V8 under the hood. It's not an E9, no. And it's not an E865 or 864 or 866. No, this is something a little different. It's a 16 litre, but it's the ET1005. Yes, I know. You might be thinking, what's that then? Let's go ahead and negotiate this corner. So it appears to be something of a badge-engineered EM9. Now, I may be completely wrong here, but the torque curve is kind of similar. The engine's a little bit older. So the E9, certainly the ones I've been looking at, date from the sort of early 80s. I'm not able to go any quicker than this speed, but I'm not losing any speed. I'm gradually accelerating. Anyway, so this engine predates those. This is a 1978, 1977, and it matches beautifully the original generation Mack Super-Liner. See if we can show that off here. There's a couple of clues that the headlights are one, the air cylinders in front of the fuel tank is another giveaway that this is the OG Super-Liner, if you like. Right, I'm going to switch it to automated now, and we'll see how well it copes joining this this highway. So, the Mack E9 is it's an engine I've been wanting to work on, and have been working on here and there for quite a while now. But like a lot of the Cummins engines, don't really want to get this one wrong. The 500 horsepower E9 has one of those reputations where you don't want to screw this up. So I took my time, and then during the sort of the development of the engine and the testing of the engine, or the torque curves more particularly, our home AC wasn't working great. And not that you can tell from my accent, but I live in Texas, and Texas gets warm in the summer. We were under a heat advisory for something like 14 of the previous 21 days, and that just wasn't fun. Right, now there's the automated box shifting down for me, which is nice. I'm at full power, and it's not holding on to its speed. Let's go ahead and kick it back to 35. I think I pulled 35. Yes, it did. Okay. We'll see if we can get it up the hill at this speed. So yeah, the house was warm, and I really didn't feel like doing anything other than fanning myself when I got home from my day job. So development took... that was an interesting change, but okay. Development took its time. Yeah, I'm okay with that. The ET1005 is part of that engine family. So by the time you're watching this, though, the E9 family should have been added to the Steele Productions Engine Pack for various Mack trucks. And I stress the should have. My intention is to release it on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, because it should be ready by then. But if it's not, then I won't. The ET1005 is in the engine pack. There is an ET1005A, which has similar headline statistics, but a lower governor. This particular version's got the full 2100 RPM governor. The E9s in the pack have a 1900 RPM governor. So we're talking of E9s, there are 4. They're rated at 400, 440, 450 and 500 horsepower. So you do get that champion flagship 500 horse motor. There are also a couple of EM9s, both rated 400. One is just an EM9, and the other one is the EM9 400R, and the R stands for restricted revs. Now in this case, the M means it's a maxi-dyne, which means it's designed to work with Mack's 5 and 6 speed transmissions. So now by extension, Mack has a number of gearboxes that work a bit like a 5-speed with, say, an extra 3 gears, or a 6-speed with an extra 3 gears. So I'm looking at the T2090, I think is one of them. This particular engine might work okay, but the conventional E9s really don't work very well with some of the Mack gearboxes. There's a big distance between the ratios, especially at the higher speeds, and you can take it to the governor and then shift up, and you're below its optimum power band in the next gear. I've told the shifting program to follow the torque of this engine, and that's why it's shifting up at just over 1200 RPM. But it's doing it. It's lugging up this hill. And let's not forget, we have a gross weight here of probably 100,000 pounds. We may get to find out if we get pulled in to be weighed. And I should say that the ET1005 is the baby of the range. This thing only has 360 rated horsepower and 1370 foot-pounds of torque, so it is not a speed demon. It is very much the entry level. I'm going to pop my cruise up to 65. Let's see if we can get there today. Do I have time for a night stop? No, I don't actually, so I've got to get there today. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, this is the baby of the range. So you benefit from that 16.4 litre engine. You benefit from the sound, but you also get penalised by the fuel consumption. And look at my exhaust gas temperature. That's nearly 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. I may have to back off. I've not got a warning light showing there. Let's back off at 60. Let's let that thing cool down if I can. There we go. Alright, so just to point out where that is, it's just to the top right of the steering wheel. It's right there. The pyrometer. Oh, steering, David. Okay, and the needle's dropping a little bit, which is good, because that was getting pretty hot. Cats are known to get pretty hot exhaust, or EGT's exhaust gas temperatures. Mack's less familiar with that. But it seems that will curtail my speed long before my gearing does, certainly with a heavy load. Well, so far this is doing a lot better than I thought it would. I really thought I'd be struggling with this combination. It helps the gearing is kind of sensible. Oh, I could do with pulling out here. I need to pull out, actually. Sorry, officer. Yeah, I completely messed that up. That would surely get me a ticket. Let's get back under power. I guess I got away with it that time. And I didn't run into the officer, which is good. So 6 coils on the back of this thing. The load you could take varied from, I think, 2 coils up to 6. The Rocky Mountain double was a 5. The conventional doubles was a 4. The triple axle was a 3. Yeah. It's more efficient to take more at once, right? And speaking of efficiency, come on, turn in. Turn in. There we go. Let's check my miles per gallon. In fact, let's actually reduce my speed because I'm all over the road here. I've got no excuse. Alright, well, I didn't reset the trip when we moved off, so it's showing 4.8 right now. I would say that this this engine's not exactly known for its miles per gallon. You go online to somewhere like Big Mac trucks, and there are drivers that say, well, you know, I used to get 6 miles per gallon hauling 150,000 pounds at 80 miles an hour everywhere, and I'm not sure whether I believe that, and I may have overly dramatized what they're saying. I typically get a little bit less than 5. It doesn't seem to matter what kind of cargo I'm hauling. Now this one might be different, but I typically get less than 5. Maybe sort of 4.6, 4.7, 4.8. And given the size of engine, and did I mention the soundtrack, I'm perfectly happy with that. Okay, so now it's this sort of condition where we might want to use a higher, in real life, use a lower gear and higher revs, because your EGTs will rise quite a bit at lower revs. The reason why? Well, it's simply because the hot gas has got longer time in your exhaust system. Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch to sequential and just drop it down a gear and see if that helps. I don't know if that's modeled in the game. Yeah, I think it is. Look at that. Temperatures have dropped ever so slightly. Okay, I want to actually just take cruise out. I've just disabled cruise. I think I want to just feather this myself. Alright, got the EGTs down to about 1050. Down to 1000 now. I don't exactly know what would be considered dangerous for this engine, but the fact that it's pegged, or was pegged, all the way close up to the very top of the scale tells me it's probably not good. There's no warning light showing, and there are some trucks that give you a warning light if your EGT gets too high. I don't know whether this one does or not. We might be about to be pulled in for a weight check. Excuse me. No, got a bypass. Good in a way, because we don't lose all that inertia, all that momentum, but bad in another way, because I'd love to know what this combination weighs. Let's think about it. So I hold a 56,000 pound load, and it was about 90,000 pounds, and I've got 25. Okay, so about 115,000 pounds then. I'm at full power right now. I'm going to lift off. I know this section's kind of treacherous, and I'm definitely not going to be in a hurry. Yep, I must better reduce my speed. The engine brake fitted to this particular V8. I've modelled that on something like a Mack Dynatard. It's not known to be as effective as a Jake brake, and I'm trying to reflect that. Oh, so I spooked this truck to my left a little bit there. Okay, there we go. I'm very happy to keep the speed quite a bit less than the posted recommended maximum. Exhaust gas temperatures come way off though, which is good. Now, as I understand, some Macks were fitted with a go ahead and get my engine brake back on. Let's reduce the stage to stage 1. Were fitted with, or the transmission rather, was fitted with a retarder. But you couldn't run the retarder at full rate because the cooling system couldn't cope with the heat. Right now I've got my engine brake stage 1, we're more or less holding on to 35. But I'm in quite a high rev. I'm 1800 RPM. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and kill the engine brake. Don't think I need that right now. Let's reset that back to top level. Let's go ahead and shift up. Alright, well, we survived so far. That was way less dramatic than it could have been. I am happy with that. What I want to do is get my cruise on. So that's my cruise on, I think at 60. I'll double check what I did. Yep, 60. Let's knock it back down to 50 just for this this corner. Then we can shift up. Yeah, it'll lug at this sort of engine speed. Was it 1250 give or take? Yeah, about 1250. My concern is this ponderous load behind me. Just letting gravity take me down the hill. Right, let's give it a bit of power here. We're at Pendleton already. This is going really well. Just for a cheap trick, let's see what my mileage. My mileage has even gone up. Well, unless I've come down a long steep hill, it would probably do that. So, given its due, I am very happy with how well this Mack V8 has pulled this load. I did not think we would have this kind of trip. I thought we would be really struggling with it. But we're not. Quick check on the time. 2 hours left to go. 3 hours left in my shift, so I'm going to have to get a move on. Because if I stick at 55, I'm going to fall behind. No, not fall behind. I won't be making the progress that the game wants me to make. So let's get my cruise back up to 65. It will cruise at 65 eventually on the flat. Caveat with a lighter load. Listen to that V8 burble. And even better, we've got the whole Mack horn thing going on. Yeah, that's beautiful. That scene is dangerous. Right, well, speed's bleeding off and our EGR's gone back up to about 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and I don't really want to downshift as I need to, but I think I need to. Let's see, does that bring the EGTs down? No. We're at 1100. Get off this Schachler road. Let's go back and select the top. We have to merge left here. I should be okay because this truck merging from the right looks like he's got a decent lick of speed. And if I have to ease off, it wouldn't be the end of the world for my EGTs either. Exhaust gas temperature, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull out. I'm not saying that these trailers are long, but I think they're longer than Oklahoma is north-south orientation. They have a different time zone at the back. Okay, well, he's still back there. And I don't think I can pull in yet, so I guess we're stuck here. But my EGTs have gone down a little bit, so there is that. Let's check this view. Oh, okay. I'm clear of him. Whoa. What happened there? That truck just vanished. Okay. Now maybe it disappeared because the light's getting pretty difficult to see. I love this time of day in the game. I think it looks kind of spot on because you just, it's hard to see. Now I don't think the game simulates the odd driver that doesn't put his or her headlights on. But if they did, it would be just as hard to spot in the game as it is in real life. Yeah, we're 1200 Fahrenheit on the EGT. I gotta do something about that. That's not good. Thankfully, coming down this hill is going to help. Yeah, it already has. Quick check on the time. Okay, we've maintained that sort of hour of leeway here, which is good. Get back on my cruise. See if I can get my speed back up to 60. First yawn of the game. It's going to be proper dark soon as well, very, very quickly. But yeah, this light level is wonderful. It's my least favorite time of the day to drive is sort of dusk. Dawn's a little easier because it's getting brighter, but dusk is hard because your eyes can't really, or my eyes I should say, can't entirely adapt to light or dark. It's just kind of both. Some predators in the natural world have adapted to dust beautifully, but I am not a predator. Right, time for a swig of coffee, because there's nothing else going on, right? And it's holding on to 60. EGTs are back up pretty high, but it's not 1200 degrees Fahrenheit again. I think I preferred it when I couldn't see the EGT temperature, because then you just didn't worry about it so much, right? Now, of course, modern engines should take care of all this for us. And this is not a modern engine. In fact, just a little bit about the Mack E9. It was taken off sale in the US, and officially the US market only got the mechanically injected engines. We never got the, I'll say we. I've been here a few years, but not quite we yet. The European market got the electronically injected engines, and the Aussie New Zealand market got that too. I'm going to go ahead and put my transmission back in automated. Using my engine brake, I've got to take this exit. So yeah, the American market never got the electronically controlled engines, so I'm guessing they were taken off sale because it was too expensive to introduce them or get them to the standard. So Aussie emission levels, can we get, okay, we nearly didn't make it up that hill. That's where switching to drive this myself would have been very beneficial, because I would have basically been able to shift. And there I shifted the same time, and again the same time that the automated box shifted for me, so I'm making a right mess of this. This is really hard on the drivetrain. Okay, let's go ahead and stop. Right, let's see if we can move off cleanly. Yes, we can. Okay. So let the automated box do its thing. Don't try and help it, David. Okay. Given the torque we're dealing with, and given the gradient of that exit ramp, I think that automated shift point did a pretty good job of it. Right, we're almost at our destination, so yeah, I'm happy with how well this trip has gone. I couldn't have asked for a more challenging. Okay, maybe I could have, but there wasn't a more challenging option available, and this thing's handled it very competently. With minimal concession from me. Yeah, I did drive it sequential automated for a while, but I wanted to. Did I need to? I don't think so. In fact, I think, why would you need a 500 horsepower Mack when you can use a 360 one? Well, my gearing was appropriate, but not really even that short, so about 1400 revs at 55. That's kind of what a lot of Mack trucks did. At least a lot of the modded transmissions will give you. Using a little bit of the engine brake just in stage 3, stage 1 even. It's nice and quiet. Okay. Train there. You don't want to be over these double yellow lines. It's generally frowned upon when you cross those, right? What's this guy doing on the street? Seems a bit shady to me. Alright. Nicely does it. Quick check on my time. So okay, so I lost a bit of time coming into the city, but I pretty much expect that. Unless you're right off the highway, you're going to lose time. You almost always need to stop, and in my case we had the whole, let's see if we can break the drive shaft through being a chump with the controls. But look at that. Is that a puddle underneath me? A little hard to see the Mack, but yeah, I think she did us proud today. I'm very happy with this trip. I'm not paying the fuel bill, but I'm very happy with this trip. Right, let's go ahead and see what the damage is. We can park just up here. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and try that. No, yeah, well, I'd think about that. Do I really want to? Is it going to be too difficult to make this? Will I embarrass myself? All of the above. But I think this just about wraps up today's video. So by the time you're watching this, like I say, the E9 family should be available in the Steele Productions Engine Pack. The update should be being released on July 21st. And you've got a total of 4 E9s, 2 EM9s, and 1 ET1005. So, not just your 500 horsepower Mack V8. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have, you know exactly what to do, and if you haven't, you also know what to do. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.